So have you noticed, whenever like a rapper, like a celebrity influencer, or like some type of big money dude, right? Whenever they get any little bits of bread, right? Have you noticed their sense of style just goes out the window?
So does it need to be a bigger swipe?
But like, I'm dripping in Versace and
Soz.
I thought I'd change the shirt.
Maybe you should have kept the other one, I don't know.
Now, there was a time in my life where I used to think that like having big money, right, kind of equal with style, like it was just kind of inevitable, right? But the more I get into this whole fashion scene, the deeper I delve into it, like I can see this is not true at all. And I'm not trying to cope. This ain't a cope for you brokies out there, right? Like this is not a cope, because I do know there's some dudes out there with like good sense of style and who have money, right? But like there's some dudes out there as well who need to click cancel on the essence card a lot more often, you feel me? And the thing I've kind of realized is that style is really cultivated from two things. I want to break it down to two things. It's going to be time in the game and experimentation. And I know you guys are fucking sick of me saying experimentation, right? I be talking about that shit in every video, but honest to God, if you can take away one thing from a lot of my videos, right? If you take away just one single thing, the biggest thing is experiment. Like try out lots of shit. Try out hella shit, right? Like I do know there's a kind of space in the community that talks about having like a uniform, consistent look, having like your own specific fucking personality with your whole clothing around your wardrobe, but honest to God, if you're a capper like me, if you're like a real fashion dude like me, the fun comes when you just experiment and try out new different shit. But let's get back to the main point anyway. The two things I've come to realize that are important in actually having good style is time in the game and experimentation. And let me talk about this a little bit more. Being a dude who has a lot of time in the game, you kind of give yourself that experience and where you're able to realize, okay, these colors work best with my skin tone, these accessories work best on me, this sort of brand looks the best on me, I really fuck with this kind of styling. Like just having a lot of time in the game gives you that ability where you can find out what actually works well with you. Having time in the game gives you a lot of experience window shopping, right? Because you're brokey, bro. You're not gonna be able to afford a lot of this shit, right? So you're kind of on the outside looking in. You can really observe and see what you like. Like you don't really fall for those trends where if a dude with money really had it, right? You just be splashing whatever's hot, whatever's trendy, whatever's like in, right? Whereas you being a brokey, right? You really gotta take your time, you really gotta decide, A, is this piece versatile? B, does this really work with me? And C, is this piece does this have longevity? Can I actually keep this in my wardrobe for a long time? So this is something you're gonna naturally explore, right? And you kind of have to look for alternatives and pave your way and kind of substitute a lot of shit because you're not gonna be able to really afford that high-end designer, crazy hype shit, right? So unless you're copying reps. Unless you're copying reps, bro. The rep boys in the chat, I'm sick of you guys, alright? I'm not even gonna say anything about you guys, right? Do your shit, right? Regardless, for the rest of my boys who like real, genuine, authentic clothes, right? And I know that triggered you rep boys, me saying that, right? But I don't give a fuck, right? But the rest of us, right? If you can't really afford that premium luxury stuff, like being outside in, you kind of just look for alternatives, and that kind of sparks the creativity in you. It really gives you that sense where, okay, I'm actually into fashion. I'm not just into the whole clout chasing and validation and kind of have that social flexing, right, by being into all the hype shit, designer, premium stuff, right? So having that source of interest and that time in the game is the best thing I can say that really ups your style. And this is the biggest thing I've come to realize for myself as I've been kind of slowing down with my whole purchases and my whole hauls, and like I'm still into the whole fashion space, but I'm not really a consumer of it anymore. And I can really realize that a lot of things that I thought I would have liked to purchase, right? Like I look back because I have like this list of like stuff on my shopping list, like stuff I would have caught, like my bucket list, right? And I look on it now and I'm just like, bro, some of the pieces I've told myself I would purchase a couple months ago, what the fuck was I on, right? Like a lot of these shits are so garbage, right? And having this time in the game where I'm not purchasing as often, I'm staying more outside looking in, right? And obviously being able to work with a wardrobe that's not constantly getting new items in. If you're constantly just buy new shit, you're falling into this whole consumerist cycle where you're not really understanding your wardrobe and yourself on a real intimate personal level. Not to make this a self-improvement video, but like if you are in that grind phase or you're just not like getting money like that, right? I hope you boys are really on your hustle, really finding some direction, really trying to figure out what do I want to do with my life. And like, honest to God, this is going to be the most important thing because the whole fashion thing really is more of a sidestep in your life, right? And I'm doing it, guys. I'm making this a self-improvement video, guys. I'm fucking doing it, right? But honestly, think about it this way, bro. This bar is so fucking hard, right? I upped my kick game. Now I'm working on the whip game. Like, come on, it's levels to this shit, you feel me? And yeah, fashion is cool, but if you really give yourself time and understand that you don't really need to be buying a lot of this shit, right? Like your taste will develop in a way that you couldn't even expect it to. Like I always find it so interesting that like even with the rappers or the influencers, celebrities that do blow up, right? Like you can really tell the ones who have the passion for fashion, right? Because the ones who do, even there you gradually realize their sense of style gets better and better and better as the years go by, right? Whereas the ones who really didn't have that kind of love for the fashion, right? They kind of just keep going with what's hot. They don't really have a personality with their fits. You can't really look at them and be like, all right, that's a John fit, or like, all right, that's a Lewis fit. Like it just looks like they're following whatever's hot, whatever's in, whatever's the new fashion runway sort of look, right? So you can even tell that even those dudes with money, even those niggas with money, they still need time to develop their style. So how are you out here making 40K a year thinking you can just develop your style if you up your bag a tiny little bit? Like you gotta go through time, put in the hours, develop that taste like the rest of us. There's no way around it, right? And let me talk about the second point, experimentation, right? Let me bring this to another rapper, right? If you look at Lil Uzi, you can tell he started really like streetwear, hype, mainstream, little like, you know, hype beats and all that type of shit. And he experiments a lot more, and combined with the time he puts in, he's really morphed and evolved into this sort of like wacky, avant-garde, like real like contrarian sort of look. Like, you know, he's just, not to shit on his whole look, but you can tell that he definitely is not scared of experimenting. And the biggest thing with experimenting is you might have some fits that are just like crazy where you look back and you're just like, what the fuck was I wearing? But you might have some fits where you generally didn't put much thought into it. You're just kind of like, all right, let's just see if this goes with that, right? And those fits will hit. And it's just so good if you can. Another thing as well, guys, make sure you document your fits, like fit pics and all that type of shit. Like, don't look at it in the sense where, like, sure, it can help you get some social clout, some bitches, right? But I honestly love having fit pics on my Instagram, just as a sense of like a photo gallery. Like, I can just look back at some of my fits and be like, damn, I really put that shit on, you know? Like, always, or maybe I'll make a video about that, guys, but like, experimenting is gonna be the biggest thing. But now I really think about this, right? If I probably should have made this video just about the whole time thing, because that's really the biggest thing. But you know, your boy had to talk about experimentation as well. But a bit of a different video, guys, and that's probably how I'm gonna end it, because I didn't really have a script for this one. I was kind of just like rambling and seeing how I can go. But yeah, guys, we move. Don't forget, put in the time, put in the effort, and it's not about money, right? Money just gives you access to sort of different tiers of fashion. It doesn't necessarily mean your fashion will be better. So bringing it back to an example I had before, a lot of these famous celebrities, influencers, like, let's just say Lil Uzi, right? Let's just say Lil Uzi. So Lil Uzi, his style is very wacky, avant-garde, like I said before, but doesn't necessarily mean that the money made his style wacky, avant-garde. The money just gave him access to a lot of that. So gave him access to a lot of that, Maison Margiela, a lot of that Chanel, a lot of that Prada, all the type of shit be wearing, right? But if this dude was just a regular dude like me and you, he probably would still be wilding out, but would probably just be a bit more creative and less premium with it. Let's just say that, less premium with it. So end of the day, money ain't the equalizer. Money is not what gives you style. Time is what gives you style. And let's just say experimentation. I'm not gonna re-record the video. Let's just say experimentation. But the biggest one, guys, is time. Time in the game is what gives you fucking style. So I'll see you guys next time.